Come here, Scott. Oh, CNN, this is the end of Scott. Who cares? Don't worry, we'll take care of you, Scott. Scott Jennings, really great.
Thank you. Michigan. We were flying in here today, and I said, look at these farms. I got to get a farm in Michigan, because when you own as many libs as I do, you got to put a place to put them all. Thank you all very much.
Oh, hi, Paul. Hello. Paula, hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Am
I on? Can you hear me? I tell you, nothing gives me more pleasure than your irked sound.
Thanks, Paula.
With, yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. That just
talk.
Yeah, honestly, can you hear me? Yes. Hello. And no amount of because have the phones been improved? I think they have.
Yes, I think they have.
But I think what it is some sort of retroactive, some sort of early in their, like maybe they called in years ago.
Right, PTSD.
And so, exactly. So still expecting not to be heard. Now, maybe their parents weren't receptive. Still accept.
Now you just told us your very own airline, Miles, went to D.C. with a Trump sign or something and protested, and it obviously worked. I'm gonna credit you for these poll ratings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, his approval rating.
I just got back from Washington D.C. where I used my
everybody
flyer miles
to Paula Poundstone.
Nobody listens to Paula Poundstone. I don't think they really realized it was Paula Poundstone. I went in disguise. I actually, one of the things that I did was I made some videos standing in front of different buildings, and so I was in front of the Kennedy Performing Arts Center, and I was able to see some of the upcoming programming. Trump is doing a fantastic job with that, I have to say. Yeah. He hasn't gotten enough credit for that. For example, the Trump family is doing a new production of Sound of Music, which I am so excited to see. And this one shows the Nazis in a brighter light.
Yeah.
And Eric.
Because there are good people on both sides.
Right.
Precisely.
Yes. Yeah, very fine people.
Then there's another just separate night of entertainment altogether with Eric Trump on the kalimba.
Oh, really?
Which is something he hasn't been able to do before. Really, that guy his light has been hidden under a bushel.
Yeah, that's the best kept secret in the Trump family there.
When I imagined, I've never met Bella before, but when I was imagining the studio, I've been to the studio before, Bella, but I've never seen you here before.
Right.
And I never pictured you sitting at the desk.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know where I thought you were.
There's any number of ways you can trick young people into elder care, and this is one of them.
Yeah. What you have done with Stephanie, unbelievable.
Yeah. I've said a vaginal rejuvenation for the show, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You're looking better than really in the past.
Sure. Thanks.
There's been
all right,
some
listen,
problems.
Speaking of the Trump family, you had some thoughts on the Pope's funeral. You said, you retweeted in the middle of Pope Francis's funeral, Trump whispered something to Melania that made her smile. What did he say? And you speculated he said, I release you.
A lot, somebody else had posted sort of the question, and then I said, I release you, but there were a lot of great responses. I don't like to talk about how people look, but she did look like, how some people say it's not really Melania.
Right.
Fake
fake
Melania.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, that just sounds foolish to me, but I have to say, could have been fake Melania. It was like, it was.
It looked like it could have been like Pete Hegseth in drag. Like it was. If you just look closely, she was very Morticia Adams. Like she's rehearsing for what to wear to a funeral that she's really excited about.
Yeah, but she had when I was a kid, I had a and I shouldn't say this because I'm getting wrinkly and have lines that I didn't used to have, but. When I was a kid, I had a ventriloquist doll, a Danny O'Day doll where you pull the and it wasn't wooden, it wasn't
Why am I not surprised that you were a very weird child? That grew into a very
I used to actually try to do ventriloquism. I was never the doy dot a desk. I was never good at it. I had the album and everything, and I would sit with the doll. But when you put the version of him that I had was not high quality. He was plastic.
Yeah.
And even the wooden ones, there's the lines where their jaws are, right, where their chin comes down. She looked It looked like a Danny O'Day version, like a macabre, a macabre ventriloquist doll there.
Yeah.
You know.
Like someone else is pulling the Be Best strings and she's just...
Yeah, exactly. Be best.
Yeah.
Be best.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Hey, and he didn't sit in the third row. Remember, we thought he was going to sit in the third row.
No, the baby whined, and so they moved him
I'll
to
bet
the
you
front
he
row.
did.
Yeah.
I'll bet you.
Yeah.
Be best.
Yeah, someone's pulling it. Right. Because her jaw has resilience, or as she would say. Okay, we'll find it. Bella's new. She's training.
Yeah.
She's training wheels.
Well,
Silence.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. I'll bet you. You know, remember the busy box on a kid's crib?
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
You know, he said, bet you Bella was hell on wheels with a busy box. Had all the different noises.
And gave her good training for that seat right there.
Yeah, exactly. What was the other thing? The see and spell. Was it right?
See and say.
See and say.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll bet.
But also...
The cow goes moo.
It does.
Can you... But also, just speaking of visual comedy, on a guy that ran an entire campaign on Sleepy Joe, is just all of those pictures of him...
Dozes off
and not
everywhere.
just asleep, but the old man... like, there was, like, drool and just... for, like, the entire funeral, practically, right? So they had, like, a billion pictures of him sleeping.
Yeah. You know how you're always saying, like, you know, you hope they sue the bejesus out of him, right?
Yeah, right.
And I think to myself, there's got to be a bejesus bucket where you just put it, like, near them, and then when the bejesus comes out, you catch it. And I feel that with the Trump drool thing. You know, he sells so many things.
Yes.
Why not bucket of drool?
Yeah.
Why not sleepy time to on bucket of drool? We'll go like hotcakes.
And Chris told me the fun fact I didn't know, because, you know, Zelensky got this huge standing ovation, and apparently Trump thought it was for him.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
geez.
the most hated man in the world. Like, he was like, oh, it must be for me. And it's like Zelensky walked out. So that's even... That reminds me of one night. Where was it? Oh, Stand Up New York. I waited all night to go on, and then right as I was going on, they were like, "Oh, Chris Rock is here," and then they brought like Chris Rock up to do right. And so I'm like, "Oh, look at all this applause for me." Oh, it's not for me.
No.
And then, did you have to follow Chris Rock?
Yes, and I had to follow Chris Rock. Yeah,
It was for you.
Yeah.
Chris Rock told me the same story. That was all for you.
Yeah, we. By the way, I heard Elaine Booler read mean tweets on the not the White House correspondent.
Okay.
Oh.
It's just to all of us in the comedy business, a certain age. Someone said to her, "Even Jesus thinks you're a C word," and then someone said, "You were never funny, and I thought you were dead." So that's. That's the kind of indignities we suffer as comedians.
Sure.
I wonder at what point they thought she was dead. Like, I don't know. That's important.
So, Paula Poundstone, you're kind of like a laughing on the outside, crying on the inside kind of clown. Because I sense in your social media posts, you're generally funny, but sometimes you're like, oh, holy, this is really bad. I wonder how you deal with it. You retweeted someone who said Hitler's second coup attempt succeeded in turning Germany into Nazi Germany because his first try had no real consequences. Trump's second coup attempt is succeeding in turning America into Nazi Germany because his first try had no real consequences.
And you don't feel that's funny?
I think that's a you problem, Stephanie.
But it does go back.
honestly.
It goes back to, pardoning Nixon and him not really having, and
absolutely.
We have a history of just like looking the other way or going like Iran-Contra, or someone was even talking about the Civil War. They didn't really punish the traitors in the Civil War.
No, for heaven's sakes, they put up monuments to them, which I think is a little odd.
Right.
But they, I used to think they'd put those monuments up like right after the Civil War. Right?
Right.
Like, gee, we tried so hard, and what a great job you did, Lee, right?
Lee is one of them,
Historian Paula Poundstone. But those were put up in, I believe, the 30s.
A lot of them were Works Progress
Yes.
Administration monuments.
It was to intimidate black people.
Yeah. And now, of course, the latest story about trying to erase our history entirely. You heard the Smithsonian to remove the iconic lunch counter. There's efforts to physically remove the Greensboro, North Carolina Woolworth lunch counter exhibit from the National Museum of African American History and Culture. It features portions of the original lunch counter that highlights the story of 4 black male students from North Carolina A&T who were brutally attacked after sitting at the whites-only counter. When denied service, they refused to leave. Their defiance ignited a wave of lunch counter sit-ins across the South, became a major flashpoint in the civil rights movement. And they just... They're just trying to erase. I mean, it's insane.
It's
right?
sort of ironic that first they wouldn't let them sit at black people sit at the lunch counter, and then after they prevailed, now, well, we're just going to take the lunch counter away. Now everyone has to stand to eat. See what they've done?
Look what you made me do.
Yeah, honestly, damn it, those persistent black people. I've had it with them.
If I wanted to stand and eat over the sink, I would stay home.
Yeah, exactly. That's like when. What was it? I think Cracker Barrel, I forget, was it Denny's wasn't going to allow gay servers. And I'm like, you know what? You take away all the gay servers, there's going to be a lot of cafeteria food. There's going to be a lot where we have to get up and go get it ourselves because that's a big portion of the, service industry.
Right.
I love you, Vibrance. Okay, tell me the truth. How many different beauty potions do you have sitting on your bathroom counter right now? If it's more than just Vibrance Super C Serum, listen up. The ingredients in just this one bottle can replace your day creams, your eye creams, your night creams, neck creams, wrinkle creams, dark spot reducers, made right here in the US of A with the highest quality ingredients, including vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, vitamin B5, vitamin E, and Super C Serum delivers noticeable results. And I love that citrusy smell, and my skin feels fantastic. Simplify your skincare routine. Get a healthier complexion and minimize those wrinkles and dark age spots. It's all right in this one little magic bottle. If you don't find it better than your current skincare routine, you can get a full refund. Just go to Vibrance.com/Stephanie. You can save up to 37% and get free shipping. That's VIBRIANCE.com/Stephanie.